Hello guys, my name is Jared Osvani Gomez Rodriguez. In this video, I will introduce you to the topic of linguistics. What is linguistics? Linguistics in the scientific or systemic study of language. Two purposes of linguistics. 1. Linguistics studies the nature of language in order to establish a theory of language and describe language in the light of the theory established. Linguistic exam 2. Linguistics examines all the forms of language in general and seek a scientific understanding of the ways in which it is organized to fulfill the needs it serves and the function it performs in human life. Difference between linguistic and traditional grammar. 1. Injective describes language instead of laying down rules of correct. 2. It regards the spoken language instead of the greeting as primary. 3. It describes each language and its own merits instead of imposing Latin models on it. Scope of linguistic classification: microlinguistic and microlinguistic. Microlinguistic: phonetic, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, pragmatics. Phonetic: the branch of linguistics that studies speech sound, how they are produced, how they are perceived, and their physical properties. Phonology: the branch of linguistics that studies how speech sounds function in a language, the sounds are organized. Morphology: the branch of linguistics that studies the formation of words. Syntax: the branch of linguistics that studies the structure of sentences, how words are combined, the form, parses, and sentence. Semantic: the branch of linguistics that studies linguistic meaning. Pragmatics: the branch of linguistics that studies language in use. Microlinguistic. Sociology linguistic: the study of language and society, social factor influence the structure and use of language. 2. Physical linguistic: the study of language and means the mental structure or process which are involved in the action, compression, and production of language. Neurology linguistic: the study of language processing and language representation in the brain. Style linguistic: the study of how sentences in spoken and written language from larger, meaningful units and paragraph, conversation, and interview. Computational linguistics: an approach to linguistics which employs mathematical techniques, often with help of computer. Cognitive linguistics: an approach to the study of language and means, according to which language and language use are based on our bodily experience and the way we conceptualize. Anthropological linguistics: a branch of linguistics that study the relationships between language and culture in a community, for example, in traditional belief and family structure. Applied linguistics: the study of language and linguistics in relation to practical issues. It means the application of linguistic theories to language teaching, for example, speech therapy, language teaching, and translation. Linguistic relation language. Um, what is language? Language a body of words and set of methods and combining them, understood by a community and used as a form of communication. Um, First of all, language is system. Second, language is arbitrary. Third, language is vocal. Fourth, language is used for human communication, and language is human specific. Charles Hockett purpose is seven features of language. One, arbitrariness. Two, duality. Three, productivity, creativity. Four, interchangeability, reciprocity. Five, displacement. Six, specialization. Seven, culture transmission. One, arbitrariness. Two, duality. Three, productivity, creativity. Four, interchangeability, reciprocity. Five, displacement. Six, specialization. Seven, culture transmission. Arbitrariness. There is no logical connection between sound and meaning, or the linguistic form bear no natural relationships to the meaning. Two, duality. The priority of language with two levels of structure, one of one of sound and the other of meaning. Three, productive creativity. Language user can utilize limit linguistic rules to produce or understand infinite meaningful linguistic forms, including those they have never heard before. Four, interchangeability and reciprocity. This refers to the fact that any spoken sender of the linguistic signal can also be a listening receiver. 5. Displacement. Language can be used to refer to things which are present or not present, real or imagined matters in the past, present, or futures, or in the far away place, here and now. Specialization. Specialization. Linguistic signals do not normally serve any other type of purpose, such as breathing or feeding. 7. Culture transmission. A language system is not genetically transmitted, but culture transmitted, that is, a language system is passed on from one generation to other any others be teaching and learning ladder be instinct or be birth. Major concepts in linguistics. Descriptive grammar refers an approach which only describes the fact of language. Pres, presi- pres, Prescriptive grammar refers to an approach which tries to lay down rules for correct language behavior. Competence and performance. According to the American linguist Noam Chomsky, linguistic competences refers to the unconscious knowledge about sound, meaning, and syntax, which is possessed by the native speaker of a language.